love and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me here today. My name is Shayla, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tips and what to talk about during a first date, some conversation starters. And you guys, I think this is a very good topic to talk about because we could all use some help in this area, because first dates can be so nerve-wracking. There's a lot of nervous energy in the air, and we can tend to analyze every little thing, second guess our questions or things we want to ask because we want to make a good impression, and la-di-da-di-da, this, that, and the third. So shout out to you. This was suggested by one of you guys, one of my viewers, so thank you so much. And if you have any suggestions on any topics, any advice that you guys would like to talk about here on this channel, don't be scared, leave it down below in the comment section, and it just may be in the next video. And before I start, you guys, I just want to apologize really quick if you guys hear any hammering or metal clicking and clacking and just people going ape. There is construction going on directly outside my window, and I record by natural daylight, so please ignore and excuse that if you can hear it, okay? Also, this shirt, you guys, is giving me rainbow sherbet vibes, and I'm living for it. I was probably hungry actually, or I wanted some when I bought it, but I don't know, it's kind of cute and I'm kind of living for it. But anyways, the first tip that I have for you guys is going to be an icebreaker, and it's just eye roll. Oh my gosh, icebreakers. And I'm pretty sure that stems from being traumatized in high school when the teachers or faculty would just be like, okay, you guys, we're gonna do an icebreaker, and it's just oh my gosh, why? You know, and it's to keep it real, we know everybody in class hated that. And we knew after that bell rang, we were not trying to see anybody after that, unless your friends were in that class, then you're that's cool. But what I mean by icebreaker is not that. What I'm talking about is to help that person to feel comfortable with you, to help them, just feel at ease, to, just be able to answer the questions and engage in the conversation that you guys are going to be having during your date. And I'm sure it's been proven that smiling and laughing with someone, it helps you to connect better, and it helps you to get to know a person more, and it just makes you just feel very comfortable, right? So that's what I mean by that. And be creative with it. You can ask them, if you found $1 million right behind your chair, what would you do with it? Even though this is an icebreaker, it's helping you to get to know where their mind is at, what kind of person they are. Maybe they would give that $1 million to their family back home who financially, is struggling, and they could use it more than them. Maybe they would donate it to a homeless shelter. Maybe they would go to Rodeo Drive and splurge on clothes, and maybe they're a very materialistic kind of person. Maybe they would give it to you. If they would, keeper, date's over. I'm just kidding. But some other things you can talk about is, what's a really embarrassing story that you have, and share things about yourself as well. Don't just open them up to get all of their vulnerabilities, and you're just over here stonewalling and getting all the information out of them, but you're not saying anything. Share some things about you as well and make them laugh. Ask them about if they have any nicknames that their family members call them, or I don't know, their friends call them. Just, get creative with it and help them to just feel comfortable and at ease to talk to you for the next Law and Order questions. I'm just kidding. No, you just want your first date to be very fun, but also you want to be able to get information from them to see if you guys are going to be compatible and a good fit, right? Because that's what a first date is. It's to help you to see if you guys are going to continue a relationship in the future. Okay, the next tip that I have for you guys is to ask about their family member and friends. Are they all about their family? Are they very family oriented? Are they all about their friends? And ask them, what do you and your friends like to do for fun? Where do you guys hang out? And they're like, oh my gosh, I like to go, we always go bar hopping at least 5 nights a week. And is that something that, you want to, be entertained by? Is that something that you're just yeah, you know what? I have a dentist appointment. Yeah, I know it's 10 o'clock at night, but I really gotta go. So I gotta end this date in 5 minutes. I'm just kidding, don't lie. But just get to know who they are and who their friends and who their family is, because in the long run, if you guys end up being in a relationship and you're together, these are the people that you're going to end up meeting, right? That you're going to be around. They're closest to them. And you're getting a little taste of, you know, who they are as a person and who they're around. So that's the next tip that I have for you guys. Okay. Number 3 is going to be to ask them what is their picture of a good life. And to me, that's another informal way of asking, where do you see yourself in a year from now? Because I don't know why, I just hate that question. It just sounds like an interview to me, and I'm pretty sure like I probably have gotten asked that in an interview before, which is why I hate it every time. But I mean, if you don't mind asking it that way, go for it. But you know, it's gonna get an idea of, again, who they are as a person. Maybe their idea of a good life is for them to, you know, own a home one day and raise a family and have a white picket fence. And maybe their idea of a good life is to live out of a suitcase and travel everywhere in the world. Is that something that, you know, you are interested in and what you see yourself doing in the future? Maybe they're the kind of person that's just like, you know, I want to be a trophy wife or a husband, I don't know, and, you know, shop until I drop all day, every day, get the latest clothes, you know, have the most expensive car. You know, it's getting an idea of where you could fit in their future and where you see yourself in the future and what you consider a good life, you know, for yourself. Okay, the next tip that I have for you guys is to address or mention deal breakers. And if you guys haven't noticed, the tips that I'm giving you guys is ways to ask questions, but not for it to be like Law and Order, like an interview. Okay, so you can do this in a very tactful way by saying, you know, maybe you hate people that smoke and you would never be with someone who smokes cigarettes. Maybe there's someone nearby that's smoking, you're just like, oh my gosh, like I have allergies, like I hate cigarette smoke, like I could never date someone who smokes, you know. And maybe they're like, oh my gosh, like I smoke cigarettes, they don't like me. You know, so maybe that's something that you want to consider. Or maybe they're just like, oh, I know, me too, like it's so bad for you, I think like health is so important and la-di-da, like, you know, just mention deal breakers in that manner. Or maybe you really cannot stand people that lie in a relationship, that aren't trustworthy. So maybe you can bring up a movie where someone's lying a lot. Maybe like the first thing that came to my mind was Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. I love that movie. It's very funny. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But you know, just bringing up like a movie like that and saying like, you know, he like only had to tell the truth and, you know, lying so much and this and that. Like I really like in relationship, I feel like honesty is like the best policy, and I just can't be with someone who lies. Like it's just not fair, and I'm very honest. Like, you know, there's ways to be tactful and bring up deal breakers without like, you know, being like, you know, a deal breaker for me is I don't like cheating, lying, this, that, and the third, you know? So, you know, that's the next tip that I have for you guys. Okay, another tip that I have for you is to ask them about their talents and for them to share, you know, what's an accomplishment that they're proud of. Maybe they learned how to play the cello self-taught, you know, by themselves. Maybe they're really proud of the fact that they worked really hard, you know, in school and they graduated with a degree, you know. So, you know, it's just things to get to know them and see what they're proud of, and if it aligns with things that you're proud of, or it's something to like, you know, amaze you a little bit and you're like, wow, this person's really amazing, I can't believe they did that. Wow, you're really talented, you know how to play the cello, like I would like to hear that one day, you know. So definitely, again, you know, mention things. I cannot say this enough. Mention things about yourself. Like, please do not just get all of this information from them. Share some things about yourself as well, because you want to be fair. It takes two people to be on a first date, and they got to see if you're a right fit for them as well. Don't just let it be one-sided, okay? And that's pretty much like all the tips that I have for you guys. If you guys have any other tips that you think are good to talk about on a first date, help each other out. I'm really big on, you know, helping each other out in the comment section. You can mention some experiences that you have had so that other people can read them, because we all know people be reading the comments when the video is playing. Let's keep it real, okay? So that's the end of this video. If you haven't already, subscribe. like, share. Until next time, bye.